Once upon a time, in a small village in India, there lived a wealthy landlord named Ratan Singh. He owned vast fields of golden wheat, dozens of mango orchards, and many houses that he rented to poor farmers. Everyone in the village knew his name, and when he walked through the marketplace, people would step aside and bow their heads in respect. Ratan Singh lived in a grand mansion with high walls and beautiful gardens. He wore fine silk clothes and ate the richest foods. But despite all his wealth, there was one thing that Ratan Singh could never face: the truth. Years ago, when Ratan Singh was young and poor, a kind farmer named Mohan had helped him. Mohan had given him food when he was hungry, shelter when he had nowhere to sleep, and even lent him money to start his first business. Ratan had promised to repay this kindness, saying, "Brother Mohan, I will never forget what you have done for me. When I become successful, I will take care of you and your family forever." Time passed, and Ratan became rich. But as his wealth grew, his memory of Mohan's kindness began to fade like morning mist. Mohan, on the other hand, had fallen on hard times. His crops had failed, and he struggled to feed his wife and 3 children. One day, Mohan came to Ratan Singh's mansion. He stood at the gate, nervous and humble. When the guard told Ratan that Mohan had come to see him, Ratan's heart began to beat fast. He knew why Mohan had come. The truth of his old promise stood before him like a mirror, and he did not like what he saw. "Tell him I am not home," Ratan said quickly, hiding behind his curtains. The guard went back and lied to Mohan. The poor farmer left with sad eyes, believing his old friend was truly not there. But this was just the beginning. Mohan came back many times, and each time, Ratan Singh found new ways to avoid him. He would climb to his roof and hide. He would sneak out through the back door. He would send servants to say he was sick or busy with important work. One night, Ratan's young daughter, Meera, asked him, "Father, who is that old man who keeps coming to our gate? Why do you hide from him?" Ratan felt uncomfortable. He is nobody important, just a beggar looking for money. But Meera had seen the sadness in Mohan's eyes, and she felt there was more to the story. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Ratan Singh became a master of running away. He would take different routes through the village to avoid Mohan. He would send his servants ahead to check if Mohan was nearby. His whole life became about escaping the truth. But running from truth is like running from your own shadow. No matter how fast you run, it follows you. One day, a terrible storm hit the village. The rain poured down like rivers from the sky, and the wind howled like angry wolves. Ratan Singh was traveling back from the city in his covered cart when the storm caught him. The driver lost control, and the cart crashed into a ditch. Ratan was thrown out and injured his leg badly. He could not walk. He lay there in the mud and rain, crying for help. But the storm was so loud that no one could hear him. He thought he would die there, cold and alone. The man who had everything suddenly had nothing, no servants, no comfort, no way to escape. Then, through the rain, he saw a figure approaching. It was an old man carrying a lamp. As the light came closer, Ratan's heart sank. It was Mohan. For a moment, neither man spoke. Ratan felt ashamed, lying helpless in the mud before the man he had avoided for so long. He wanted to close his eyes and disappear, to run away one more time. But he could not run anymore. Mohan looked down at him, and Ratan waited for anger, for accusations, for punishment. But instead, Mohan bent down and gently helped him up. "Come, my friend," Mohan said softly. "Let me take you to safety." With great effort, Mohan carried Ratan on his back through the storm. He took him to his small, poor hut where his family was gathered around a tiny fire. Mohan's wife quickly made a place for Ratan to lie down. She bandaged his wounds with strips of her own cloth. Mohan's children shared their small portion of food with him. That night, As Ratan lay in that humble hut, warmer from their kindness than from any palace fire, tears began to flow from his eyes. All these months, he had been running from this man, and yet when he needed help most, this same man had saved him without hesitation. "Brother Mohan," Ratan whispered, his voice breaking. "Why did you help me? I avoided you. I lied to you. I broke my promise. I ran from you like a coward." Mohan sat beside him and smiled gently. "I did not come to you for money, or to remind you of your promise, Ratan. I came because I considered you my brother, and I wanted to see you, to talk with you like old times. But you kept running. I realized then that you were not running from me. You were running from yourself, from your own truth." These words pierced Ratan's heart like arrows. He had been so afraid of facing his broken promise that he had become a prisoner of his own fear. He had built high walls to hide from truth, but those same walls had trapped him inside. "Can you ever forgive me?" Ratan asked, sobbing like a child. "There is nothing to forgive," Mohan said, "but you must forgive yourself, and you must stop running." That night changed Ratan Singh forever. When the storm passed and morning came, he did not return to his mansion as the same man. He went to the village elders and publicly told them everything: his old promise, his shame, and how he had run from truth. He begged Mohan's forgiveness in front of everyone. Then he did something remarkable. He gave Mohan half of his property and wealth, not because Mohan asked for it, but because his heart finally told him it was right. More importantly, he gave Mohan back his friendship, honest and true. From that day forward, Ratan Singh became known not just as a rich landlord, but as a man of truth and honor. He learned that facing the truth, no matter how painful, brings more peace than a lifetime of running. He learned that lies and avoidance build prisons, while truth sets us free. Years later, when Ratan's daughter Meera asked him about that night in the storm, he told her, "My child, I learned that the truth is like the sun. You can close your eyes to it, hide from it, or run from it, but it will always be there. And when you finally open your eyes and face it, you will find that it is not your enemy. It is the light that shows you the way home."